Okay, good morning. Welcome to the latest edition of the Iscah Q&A series. This week's edition is also about skilled visas, points test, RSMS, the ENS and 457 visas. We've taken a series of questions from our Facebook page, edited them slightly, and we're going to give you our answers here. Hopefully that helps you with your visa application. Okay, straight on to the first one. Regarding your recent post on the latest news about accounting being supported by the CPA, can you explain exactly what this means? Okay, so the Immigration Department asks for stakeholders to provide recommendations for the new skilled list each year. Last year, all the accounting bodies, most of them, were quite nervous about the numbers, and they recommended that accountant generally be reduced in terms of the program, less accountants. And that's what the department did. This year it's different. This year basically all the accounting bodies, and the CPA is the one we put on our website, have recommended that accountant stays on the skilled list and also that the numbers increase, the numbers allocated to that occupation increase for the new program year. So they're really important recommendations. It doesn't mean immigration will follow that recommendation, but they will consider the accounting bodies to be really important stakeholders in that decision. And whereas we were saying, look, 50% chance accountant might come off the skilled list, I think that's reduced to 25-30% now. We'll know closer to the 1st of July, but that's a good sign that accountant may well stay on the skilled list now. Okay, on to the next question. Hi, my husband got state nomination for 190 from New South Wales as a taxation accountant. We have to submit our final papers by May, and we've also applied for the 189 at 65 points. Should we take up the 190 offer? Absolutely you should. You've got an offer there from a state government. Look, you might not live in New South Wales, but if you take up that offer and you are granted your 190 visa, as long as when you were granted the visa you had an intention to go to New South Wales, you can change your mind afterwards and there is no cancellation from immigration under that visa. So it's a great position to be in. The concern is if you don't take up that 190 offer and then whatever occupation you nominate for your 189 EOI is not on the list after the 1st of July 2016, you're going to be kicking yourself because you've missed out on your chance by not taking up the 190 offer. And if it comes off the 189 SOL, your EOI is dead in the water for the 189 and also for relative sponsorship under the 489. So definitely take up that 190 offer, no doubt. Next question, how much do you charge for a 485 visa application and how long is the processing? Okay, so our charge for the 485, we charge $1,200 to manage the paperwork plus GST. Immigration, as an extra fee, charge $1,470. So if you do use us for a 485 application, obviously we also help you then with further applications and we reduce those because you're a 485 applicant with us, and it means that we've already got a lot of your background details. So we're able to process you more efficiently for another visa. Don't need to use an agent for a 485 at all, but that's our fees if you want to use our help. Hi, Iscah. I'm a student based in Melbourne. I'll be completing my bachelor's in film and digital media this June. I've heard that the ACS have proposed an occupation named Multimedia Specialist onto their demand list from July the 1st. Can my qualification relate to this occupation if it comes on the SOL? Okay, so on our Facebook page last week, we put up details about the occupations that the ACS were thinking of adding to the SOL or recommending being added to the SOL. There's probably about half a dozen occupations. Again, immigration may not take up that recommendation, but it's a good sign from the ACS, the peak sort of professional body in that IT industry. So if it comes on the demand list, comes on the SOL list, then that's a good first step. The next step is whether your units are relevant. Now the ACS have got a really good PDF document on their website that goes through all the occupations that they assess, including this one here to do with Multimedia Specialist. and it tells you the type of units that you need in your transcript. So you need to have a look at that PDF document, and that will tell you whether or not you're doing the right units. If you can't find that document, drop us an email and we'll give you the exact link. It's a bit hard to explain over the video here, but we've actually emailed it to you through Facebook. So anyone else listening to us who wants that link, drop us an email and we'll give you the link to that PDF document. Next question. Hi there, I have a question about my workplace. They're losing money. I'm on an RSMS visa and there is a chance my employer may not provide any more work there. Can they terminate me and do I need to advise immigration? Okay, so a company can always terminate you if they believe that's the right thing for them to do. If you've already been granted your RSMS visa, you don't have to advise immigration. Alright, so yeah, you've already got your permanent residence. There's no obligation to tell immigration about that change in circumstance after the visa is granted for that visa. So you don't have to advise immigration. But if immigration were to find out for some reason and you've left within the first 2 years, you can have your visa cancelled. So it's important that you take some steps to improve your position, which is that you try your best to stay there. If they make you go, you can't do anything about that. Try and stay in a regional area and try and find work in the same industry that you got sponsored in. If you do those things, it's very unlikely immigration are going to cancel your RSMS visa. Okay, next question. Are you a Sydney-based or a Melbourne-based organisation? Okay, we're neither. We help people all around Australia. We help people overseas. We've got over 300 clients at the moment. We're based in Perth and we do Skype interviews for our interstate clients. The rules are the same all around the country. So it doesn't matter to us where you're located. We can help you. If you want our help, get in touch, www.iscah.com. Next question. Thank you for your reply. I'm working at the restaurant at the moment. The boss promised to sponsor me under RSMS. However, I'm not certain about that promise. Is there any other way I can qualify for a visa? I'm on a 485. Okay, so you're working at a restaurant. I'm not sure what your occupation is, but basically if you want to apply not through company support, you're really looking at the points test in some way. That means you need to get a skills assessment, probably as a chef or probably as a restaurant manager, depending on what your job is. Now for chef, you need to go through the Job Ready program, so you need to get in touch with the TRA, go through a 12 months Job Ready program with them. Or if you're a restaurant manager, you need to be assessed by VetAssess. They need 12 months work experience in the occupation. So that's the first step. You need a skills assessment, chef or maybe restaurant manager. The next step then is it has to appear on a state list or be on the skilled occupation list by the time you go through those assessments. So there's a couple of steps. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. If you need more details, get back in touch with us. Okay, I have an EOI in at the moment at 60 points since September 2015. If I now improve my English marks, does this change my EOI date? Yes, it does. Every time you increase your marks in the EOI, in your expression of interest, then it resets the EOI date. So if you improve your English marks now and you've got 60 and now you're able to claim 10 points for English and that gets you to 70 points, you update your EOI, you'll be given a new date. Today's the 26th of April 2016 when we're recording this. That will be your new EOI date and that's the date they'll use when they're calculating invitations. Still a better position to be in though. 70 points and April 2016 invite is a heck of a lot better than September 15, 60 points. Okay, hi there. I've lodged my EOI for 189 and 190 with 60 points as an accountant doing my professional year. We finish in January 17. What will happen to my EOI if accounting is removed from the SOL? Well, if accounting is removed from the SOL, the EOI really doesn't help you at all with a 189 visa. It also doesn't help you with 489 relative sponsorship. If accountant comes off the list, you need to hope that accountant is on one of the state lists. It probably will be. It's on most of the state lists already. If it comes off the 189 list, I'd imagine the states would even more be sponsoring accountants to try and make up some of the leeway. But you need to see what the state then asks for their criteria. You know, New South Wales have got different criteria to say Darwin or Tasmania. So we'll need to wait till after the 1st of July, see if it's on the 189 SOL. If it's not, then really what you need to do is hope it's on a state list, meet the state criteria for an accountant, and your EOI then has to maybe nominate one of those states. Each state have their own different process in how they identify people wanting to go to their state, or you need to find a job offer as an accountant. Okay, hi there, I've got 2 questions. First question, can a very new restaurant sponsor under RSMS? How long do we need to wait? Question 2, if we buy a restaurant and change the name, do we need to wait to sponsor someone? Okay, so under RSMS now, there is no waiting period to sponsor, like there used to be a 6-month waiting time, that the business had to run 6 months before it could sponsor under RSMS. That's no longer a requirement. You still need to show the company is going well and can provide a job offer for the next 2 years. But as long as they are financially sound and got a good business plan, it won't matter if they've been running for a month or 2, they can still sponsor under RSMS. Same if you buy a new restaurant, change your name and they sponsor you. That can happen at the moment under RSMS policy. 457 policy is a little bit tougher. They don't like self-sponsorship anymore and they're quite strict. But RSMS, that hasn't really flowed onto their policy yet. Okay, if my RSMS visa is approved and I have to work 2 years with that sponsor but I obtain citizenship, can I leave my employer? Okay, so a lot of people after getting an RSMS visa can apply for citizenship after 1 further year, because that gives them a year of residence. For many people that's the last of their citizenship requirements. So in short, if you get citizenship, that takes away your 2-year commitment to work for that company as far as immigration are concerned. You'll still have an obligation to your employer. That's an industrial relations question, nothing to do with immigration. But the immigration department will not cancel your visa if you're on an RSMS visa, you're in your 2-year commitment, you get citizenship and you walk away. That's cool, you can do that. Okay, my question, I'm studying Masters in Engineering from a regional area. What sort of evidence do I need to claim I've been studying in a regional area for 5 study points? Okay, so the department have got a policy on that. Obviously, they need to confirm you studied in a regional area first of all, so the academic transcript or a letter of course completion is fine for that. In terms of the residence component that you lived in that area, they say applicants should provide supporting documentation with the application, such as, but not limited to, copies of rental agreements, telephone bills, electricity, water, gas bills. That's their policy, put that in. Okay, I have 3 years experience in IT as a software engineer, but in those 3 years, the first 2 years I worked full time and the last 1 year I worked 20 hours a week. Will I be able to claim 10 points for 3 years work experience? Okay, so 2 parts to that. Work experience only has to be 20 hours a week, so all those 3 years are okay to claim work experience because 2 of the years are full time and the other was 20 hours a week. The other thing is that you can't count work experience until the ACS have assessed you meeting the skill level as an IT professional. So if they require you to have 1-2 years work experience, it'll say that on their assessment letter. You can't count that work. You can only count work that happens after that time. But it only needs to be 20 hours a week. So the part-time work there will be part of that calculation, that's okay. Hi sir, I just wanted to know if I had a 457 for 2 or 3 months and then I get 6 in each, can I apply for RSMS or do I have to wait 2 years on the 457 visa first? As soon as you meet RSMS criteria, you can apply for permanent residence. You don't have to wait 2 years on a 457. The only people who would wait 2 years on a 457 are those who don't meet the requirements for permanent RSMS straight away. But in most cases that means they haven't met the IELTS requirement, and so they're trying to get through with 5s. But if you get your 6s, you should apply for the RSMS straight away. You never know when the rules are going to change. We always say, look, if you can see you meet the criteria now and you've got a choice of applying now or in 3, 6, 12 months time, always apply now. You never know what's around the corner. Okay, if I apply for subclass 186 through my employer, will my visa be cancelled if I resign within the 2 years? The 186 is a much more generous visa than the 187. If you genuinely intended to work for that company for 2 years, but after a few months, for whatever reason you left the employment of the company, even at your own choice, there's no cancellation for the 186. It's a good position to be in. The 187 is different. The 186 a lot more flexibility leaving the employer. Okay folks, that's it for this week. Remember the rules are always changing, so if you have any questions, get in touch with us at www.iscah.com for a consultation, answer to any of your questions, or find out how we can help you manage in your visa application. Cheers for now.